And we are back. Gmac and Winnie coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm thinking it's been a while since I wet my ass with my left hand.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a rough one.
How's your week, Gmac?
Listen, it is what it is. I've had a. I mean, we might as well just address it. I've had a pretty substantial injury happen. I took a fall. You know, I went headlong and towards a fence.
Yeah.
I put my hand up to protect my beautiful, ugly face here, and my hand got wedged in a fence, and I broke the socket in my shoulder, in my left shoulder. So if you're looking at this on video, it doesn't look that bad because I got a sweatshirt with a. But you put me in the brace.
Yeah.
Like it is a two-man. It is a two-man brace. You know, so I'm just waiting on the approval for a CAT scan to see how bad the break is.
Right.
If I need surgery. The problem with that is, you know, we're given plenty of time in our careers where you have sick time built up and personal time and stuff. But, you know, I'll be running out of time probably in the next week. So this is it, man. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I know we talked a little bit before about hopefully, maybe, potentially pushing it off to January 1.
Yeah.
To help you, but the doctor is going to make that final call, unfortunately.
And if I can't, then I got to figure something out because I can't not get paid for the amount of time it's going to take to rehab.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
And anything I've looked at for surgery wise is anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months.
Right. Depending on the severity.
It's pretty substantial. Sure. So yeah, for the most part, this might be the whole thing. This one, you know, this might be the way I'm going to have to try and make money for the next X amount of months to get by.
Right.
I don't know, you know, but overall, I mean, my spirits are good. It's just frustrating. You know, it happens. Things happen. Shit happens. You figure it out. You move on. Like, would I not partake in, you know, any of the things that I've done before because no, like that happens. You know what I mean? If
life.
Yeah, and it's life, and our top 5 kind of coincides with this.
Yeah,
easy. But like, people don't stop doing what they do because they had those injuries. You go back and you continue to do whatever you do. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, UFC fighters get hurt fighting, they go right back. You know, that's just what you do. So like, you just don't let it keep you down.
No, I mean,
it's my spirits were shitty. Late last week.
Yeah,
it just was what it was. I mean, but it's been a lot of cold, rainy, shitty days, so it doesn't really help the achiness. Yeah.
Today is much better outside. We both had fucked up weeks in our own right.
Yeah.
I go home from. We were record that? No, I went home from announcing for the Outlaws that day, and park out in front of my house, and fucking my car, my wife's car both get sideswiped. And my car's pretty much. I'm waiting for the call tomorrow. They're just going to tell me it's totaled.
Yeah, and
with no recourse.
With none, because the scumbag
drives off.
Right. So here you are. You got no recourse. Somebody drives off, so it's not like their insurance is paying anything.
Right.
And it wipes your car out, and now you're thumbing it to work, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now things were in a good place. Now I'm going to have to take on a fucking car payment I didn't want.
Right.
And all because some asshole had to leave the scene of the accident.
Yep. And that was it. I was just getting my head above water, and then boom. So,
if it was a guy, I hope he gets a fucking festering splinter in the head of his dick. So,
well, yeah, that's evil enough.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're both in a weird way, but not for nothing. In the lone, like, kind of bright spot, I do have this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you know, it would be a donation type thing, you know, or put up whatever, you know, but I can create content for people. There is, you know, we can do voiceovers, we can do commercials. So I do have another avenue to try to generate some funds during the next couple months.
Right. I mean, You can be a foot model as well.
Yeah, I don't have bad feet.
Right. So there's money in it.
Yeah, Big Gay Sal will have it all figured
Oh my
out
God,
for
he
me.
will. He will.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's another part of me that just goes, fuck it, and tough it out, and let's get it done, and I'll get it taken care of when I can get it taken care of.
But listen, hopefully the MRI, knock on wood, the MRI comes back and maybe it's not as substantial and you can heal.
Yeah. My fucking luck, it'll be...
No, it's going to be completely destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have the first shoulder transplant in the history of the world.
Yeah.
But
yeah, whatever, man. We can move on from that. I'm good.
Yeah. I know.
I'm not one of those people that want to hear it. Hey, listen, it happened. Move along.
That's it. You can't go back. You can't change it.
No, I'm not going to change it. It is what it is. So just move forward.
There you go. So if anybody wants to lend George a hand, he could use it because right now, actually, we could do a GoFundMe for a bidet.
Yes,
you may need one.
Yeah. Well, and
Dude,
that's the one thing I will be.
So weird.
That's the one thing I will honestly say. When it's your dominant hand,
Right?
Holy fuck! Like brushing my teeth is weird.
You don't. But the funny thing, and I know it's wiping your ass, but when you're used to turning a certain
one direction,
way, and then you can't listen. All my flexibility
is
in my body is going
direction.
to the left.
Yeah.
Trying to turn to the right is so stiff.
Yep.
It's awful. It's terrible.
Yeah. Unless you're a contortionist.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You bend your head around, look up your ass, go, oh, there it is.
Well, I remember having surgery when I had surgery on my right knee. No, I'm sorry. When I had surgery on my left knee, having to keep that leg straight, you couldn't turn to do anything.
Right. You had no bend.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How do you figure this out?
You peg leg. I mean, our size doesn't help because we're big, bending around fucking the equator.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, that is one thing that I didn't factor in, like brushing my teeth. That's the weirdest thing because I'm left-handed.
Right.
So I'm like, it's just weird.
It is. When I had the left thumb injury, we were young. I was 15. Yeah. So my mom had to write all my homework out for me. I had the cast came right up to the middle of my fingers. So
right.
Over the top, the thumb was out because the joint was shattered.
Nothing's as bad as Tommy DeSico having 2 broken arms and his mom having to wipe his ass and wash his nuts.
And the neighbor dropping a tube top.
Yeah. Yeah, and he couldn't even touch his little pickle.
Couldn't even touch a little pickle. You're just there hanging out in the breeze.
We just heard that story Friday night.
He's too fucking much.
He is too much.
I swear to God, he got lost, didn't tell us, but we still made it home okay.
Yeah. Mr. I know every road.
He missed 38 turns. Somehow we still made it back.
I'm like, Tom, where are we going here, bro?
I got it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's not the road I want. We went down some absolute side fucking
dude, that was mountain driveway. It was terrible.
Yeah, for 4 miles.
Yeah. It was a paint chip road, I think it was called.
Yeah.
So, all right. So tying in with Gmac's injury of the week, our top 5 is going to be centered around the top 5 traumatic sports injuries.
You can tell when he jumps the gun and doesn't wait for the soundbite.
I totally did.
Top 5 traumatic sports injuries. Sponsored by nobody. George's left arm.
There we go.
Most of these are professional ones. I mean, I'm sure there's, private ones that are equally as bad somewhere.
Most of them, I mean, the ones that I have
are pretty mainstream.
Yeah, ones you've seen on television, you were like, what the fuck?
I'll start, and I guarantee it's higher on your list. That's why I'll start. And I combined it.
Okay.
Joe Theismann / Alex Smith.
Yeah, Theismann's one of mine.
So we'll talk about that all the way at the top.
Okay.
But / Alex Smith because it happened on the same field 30 years apart or something like that.
It's the same day, I believe.
Same day.
Yeah.
Like 30, 35 years apart.
Creepy.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. I knew you would have it on your list.
Yeah.
I didn't know where.
Yeah.
But it's further down on my list. It was the first injury of that type. That's what a lot of people wanted at. Yeah. But then as time wore on, things got...
Right.
Yep. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Rudy Tomjanovich. Kermit Washington punches him.
Oh, yeah.
Shatters his face, and he is never the same player again. Came back for a couple of years. He just wasn't the same guy.
That was a really dirty play, right? He was jogging up the middle. He was jogging up the middle of the court.
Yep,
the guy just turned around.
Didn't see him coming, blindsided him. It was like a crow hop and a punch.
Yeah.
And absolutely destroyed his face.
And whatever happened to the other guy?
probably like a 5-game suspension.
Yeah, right. You know what I
Different
mean?
times.
You destroyed a man's life,
Yeah.
career, and you got a 5-game suspension.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised people didn't take him out in the parking lot. Beat the fuck
Luckily, Rudy T came back as a Hall of Fame coach, but
yeah,
it did ruin what was potentially a Hall of Fame playing career, too.
yeah. My number 4, Anderson Silva. Leg break
So
versus
close.
Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
I was watching that fight. Everybody was sleeping but Summer. Me and Summer were watching that fight live. And it sounded like somebody snapped a mop stick when he kicked him. He threw the kick in here. Ah! I'm like, holy shit, his leg broke. His legs broke. And Summer's like, oh, that sounded disgusting because they weren't talking at the exact time it happened.
So you just heard it.
And Chris Weidman checked his kick with a knee.
Yeah.
And it rubber banded around.
Right
Around it. Yeah. It was awful. It was awful to watch.
Now he's fought. He came back.
He came back and fought. It's just not.
Did he re-break it?
I don't think he re-broke it. Conor McGregor broke his leg like that too.
Really?
Yeah. Conor McGregor threw a kick, stepped back, and his foot was sideways and it was like the ankle bone he stepped on. So
that's not good.
that was my number 4.
My number 4, I was present for. Dennis Byrd.
Oh,
broken neck.
Yep. New York Jets. Right?
Yep. Steve DeBerg is the Chiefs quarterback. He steps up in the pocket, and Dennis Byrd goes headfirst into Scott Mercer's chest. And you want to talk about 70,000 people, and you could hear mouse piss on cotton.
Silent immediately.
Dead silent for good 45 minutes.
He ended up making his way back, though, right?
He walks now. It
Yeah.
took him a while. Last I had heard, he had been a high school football coach. He may have passed on, though.
I think he did pass away.
I think he did pass away. But he did make it back. He was a high school football coach for a while. He did recover. He had a good life, good quality of life after that. But for the time being and for quite a while, it was scary.
Yeah, I remember him coming out as a captain for a coin toss or something when he finally could walk and the place went unglued. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. All right, my number 3, Davey Allison. I was at this race. It was my first NASCAR race in Pocono. Darrell Waltrip spins him and absolutely in a short shoot. He was dominating this race, Davey Allison. And it was pit stops. They were coming back through. Darrell Waltrip spins him. Davey Allison barrel rolls it like 17 times or something. Really bad wreck. And
was it coming down
between 2 and 3?
Okay. Oh,
in the triangle, the short shoot there.
Yeah.
And he goes helicopters, everything terrible. And Darrell Waltrip goes on to win the race. And in Victory Lane, my dad had Victory Lane seats, so we were like just above him.
Right.
And I'm just saying every fucking nasty thing I can to Darrell Waltrip from the thing. You dirtbag piece of shit, you know what I mean? And it was a racing incident. But in that accident, Davey Allison broke his right arm, his right collarbone, his left eye socket. He had leg injuries, the whole deal. And he drove the next week. They put Velcro and shit on because he had to complete at least a lap.
Right.
So they had the car like really set up with a relief driver, but he had like Velcro on his gloves and the gear shifter so that like he could shift the gear. And I don't know if NASCAR did it on purpose or something happened. They went out for one lap and the yellow came right out. So he went down in the victory lane. They pulled him out of the car, the next guy jumped in.
Now that's allowed to happen during a race?
Yeah, because he started the race.
Okay.
So you get the points if you started.
So
Dale Earnhardt did it one time too, and he hated it. He broke his sternum.
Especially a guy as good. Well, they're all competitive.
Yeah. Yep.
But you get a guy like Earnhardt with that competitive fire. Yeah, he's not going to come out of a car.
No. So that was my number 3.
My number 3 is Dave Dravecki.
That's higher on my list.
Okay, we'll talk about it when we get there.
My number 2, Clint Malarchuk.
Oh God.
He was the goalie,
skated over.
And a skate came up and cut his throat.
Yes, he bled like a stuck pig.
Yeah, and then here's the thing: is U.S. Army combat veteran, Jim Puzzatelli was the Buffalo Sabres athletic trainer, and he saved his life because he was in combat, so he knew like what to do. He reached in his neck and pinched off the vein. And that's what saved his life because there was blood everywhere.
He cut the carotid.
In a freak accident. You know what I mean? You always think like them skates have to be razor sharp. How people don't have their fingers cut off, whatever.
Right.
And sure enough, a skate came up caught him right across the
Watched
throat.
it. I remember seeing that on
1983,
ESPN.
I think it was 89.
They tell you to turn away, but if you don't want to see the blood, and dude, yeah, he hit. I don't know if he went down. The guy ended up on his back and came and caught him, trying to block a shot. And what you see is him grab for his neck.
Yep.
And blood on the ice.
Gallons. Yeah.
It looked like it was terrible.
It was not good.
Not good. My number 2, Tony Conigliaro. Red Sox outfielder. The next Ted Williams. He was well on his way to having a Hall of Fame career. Takes a Jack. I think it was Jack Bellingham. I'll have to look it up. Fastball right in the eye.
Oh.
And he made the cover SI with the injury. It was literally, it looked so bad it looked fake. It was black. Literally black, a black circle. The eye was closed. He missed a couple seasons, came back, played.
That was prior to helmets, right?
It was helmets, but it was prior to having to wear the flaps and all that.
So it's just
it came in.
It's just a cap looking helmet. Yeah.
It came in so fast he had no time to get out of the way. He came back. He had 1 year where he hit like 36 home runs, and then the injury kind of took over, and he lost the eyesight at a dramatic rate to where he was back and he was out of baseball in 4 years. But it was they thought he was dead in the batter's box. He hit the ground. He didn't move.
I'm sure
it was bad,
especially back. You know what I mean. You don't know what the baseballs were, how wound tight they were back then.
The good thing was he went on to have a good, long, productive life outside of baseball. He's got Tony C's restaurants, or not all over, but there's 3 or 4 of them in Boston. He's a celebrated Bostonian.
Nice.
So,
and my number 1 is Dave Dravecky. We can talk about it now.
Yeah, it was.
He breaks his arm on a pitch that he eventually loses that arm.
Right, and he broke that arm. He broke that arm twice.
Right, he broke it, came back from it
after the surgery.
Had one start.
Right, he had cancer in the arm. They cut the muscle out.
Right,
and did some reconstructive surgery. And yeah, in the first start back.
No, he had one start where he pitched okay. It was his second start back,
and it snapped again. I
mean, I remember watching that game live, and it was like here he had an arm, and by the time he got here, he had no arm, no nothing.
Right.
Like I've never seen somebody look like they were completely shot.
Went right down off the mound.
Completely just disintegrated. Yeah. In a from here, he had it's hard to show on. He had an arm here.
Right.
And by here, he did not have an arm no more.
And I've seen bad baseball pitching injuries, but it's normally a ligament goes. It's not a brain. Right. It's not a bone snapping.
Yeah.
Joel Zumaya for the Tigers threw like 105 miles an hour, and he had the UCL go mid-pitch. And he went down like a ton of shit too, but he was up and holding his arm.
Can you – I know it's terrible, and I'm currently – but can you not – I laugh and not in a mean way. It's just like it hurts so bad to watch. It's funny. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh fuck!
That was it.
Oh my god, that's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, and again, it's bad.
It's almost, you know what? When you said that, it's almost like that funny bone feeling when you can't help it.
Yep.
Just
and it's done.
Yeah.
But I've seen plenty of batted balls back at the pitcher.
Yeah.
That have caught him in the face.
Oh yeah, there's some
nasty.
What was the one in Yankee Stadium? A-Rod hit one off somebody's head that ended up out in right field.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in right field. I
forget who the pitcher was, but yeah.
I don't know if it was like a home run or it went out in like right center or right field into the bleacher.
That's why.
It was like a ground rule doubly. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, brutal. And then your number 1.
My number 1, Joe Theismann.
Yeah, and I mean, Joe Theismann, not for nothing, Alex Smith is equal.
Right. Looking at my list, Theismann and Dennis Berg were the 2 that never came back from the injury.
Theismann, I think, was older, and back then the technology wasn't what
he was in his late 30s at that point.
Yeah.
He was at the end of his career, and I think he just said to rehab to get back to where I need to be.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen.
And it's different when you're a little white guy playing a bunch of cocaine-fueled fucking dudes getting a big...
But think
Joe Theismann wasn't a big guy either.
And he really wasn't that old. I mean, he was mid-30s, But for NFL quarterback at the time,
that was ancient. That was like
right,
older than Brady now. You know what I mean? Nobody was in their 30s back then.
Let's see what year he won the Heisman.
Well, did you just see this recently? His last name was pronounced Thiesman.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to Theismann for Heisman.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good marketing campaign.
Hell yeah, it is. Joe Kane. Kane is able.
Yeah. Joe Thiesman.
Yeah.
He goes, my last name was Thiesman. They're like, no, your last name's Theismann. And then his dad's like, what the hell is this? Theismann for Heisman, yeah.
And it's funny, if you type in Joe Theismann, Alex Smith comes up alongside of it.
Yeah.
So that's our
top 5. That was not fun to go through, Highland. You're just that guy.
I'm that guy.
You're that guy. You can't help it yourself when you do these things to me.
Okay, so actually, he had a longer playing career than I realized. He was a finalist for the Heisman in '70.
Yeah, and that was '83, right there.
87.
Oh Christ! 17 years later, yeah.
So, all right. So, no, he did have a nice long playing career. But LT freaking out made that on TV look as emergent as it was.
Yeah.
He hopped up and he was immediately waving for somebody to come on the field.
That just happened in the game. Oh, what game was I watching on Saturday? Fuck. I can't remember what game it was. I was watching on Saturday and it might have been the Penn State-Ohio State game.
Okay.
And the Penn State kid was like, yo, immediately.
What happened there?
It was a goal line thing. They bring a tight end in as a quarterback. I guess he's just a big guy. He ran in the middle and he got rolled. Like, you could just tell he screamed immediately.
Right.
And before, it was like one of the safeties or something was on the fringe of the pile.
Yeah.
He was just immediately calling for the trainers to come in.
Yikes.
And they're like, no, they're not going to get it. He's going to be short, and they're showing the replay.
Over and over.
And I'm like, that guy's got to be down. And they go to commercial, and they come back, and the guy's laying, like, literally right on the goal line, and everybody's to the side. Oh, he was down. I'm like, how'd you not see that? The guy was already waving him in before the play was over.
You hate to use the term honorable mention in this category, but one that if I could go back and put it in, I would. Darryl Stingley.
I don't know who that
He was wide receiver for the Patriots. He in a preseason game, he goes over the middle and lays out for a ball. Jack Tatum, who was one of the dirtiest players ever play, helmet first into his back.
Oh,
and Stingley never walked again.
Well, it's just a dirtbag play.
Yeah, he was quadriplegic.
That's like its own five,
right.
Dirtbag plays in sports.
Tatum went later on.
The Tom Janovich one would be on there too.
Right. Later on, after he retired, Tatum found God and was able to get forgiveness from Stingley. But
yeah,
it was
all
horrible.
Right. Yeah, let's move on there. You're just setting a fucking happiness tone.
All right, let's go.
All right, 5 crazy questions sponsored by Scalable Computers via Gmac. Pressing that button fucking hurts. Number 1, what would you do if you were given a free pass on life?
Well, describe. Like, what do you mean?
Well, you have a free pass, right? They come down, they're like, okay, Highland, you're 47 years old, you got a free pass on life. No matter what you do, you're good. Like, you don't have to work. Like, you're taken care of. You want an airplane ticket, you show up, you got an airplane. You got a free pass on life. What would you do?
Wow. Man, that's a good one.
I would take 2 months to get myself healthy.
Yeah.
Like a fat camp type thing.
Work,
I'd have a chef.
Oh, yeah. If money isn't a logic, then I don't have to work.
That's what I'm saying. It's a free pass on life.
Right.
But from here on out, what would you do?
I would immediately, I would lose the weight, get my knees taken care of. But I would probably do stem cell and not knee replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then travel, go to places I've wanted to see.
Where would you make your anchor? Where would you base?
Where would I base out of?
Yeah.
Wow, because that's a good question. That I mean, being as that nothing is going to cost me anything, I could anchor wherever I want.
Right.
Damn.
And it ultimately becomes a matter of convenience, really.
Really? Yeah, you're right.
Like you may love Myrtle, but if you're in a place where you can get to your sons and Myrtle, and you know what I mean, like, and
Right.
whatever your choices are,
Right. Yeah, it's got to be, sent. Well, that not really. I mean, fuck, that's good. Maybe I'll anchor in Memphis on the outskirts because there's a nice airport right there. I could fly wherever I want within 2 hours.
why? If everything's free, you could have your own private jet.
I could. Got my own Lisa Marie too.
Right. You got a free pass on life.
Yeah.
So what do? Like, I couldn't just sit there. I would do this. I would have this would magnify times 100.
Oh, we have you turn into the McAfee studio.
Yeah, and
instantly.
And 24 Cross would be like more like Barstool.
Yeah.
I'd have a building where everybody took place in different areas. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that travel. Yeah.
You'd have to have something to do so that you're not just
wandering aimlessly about through life.
Yeah.
Yeah. This would be it because again, money's not an object.
Right.
So yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Number 2. Would you rather see a New York Jets Super Bowl win or a Saugerty Sawyer State Championship win?
Oh man. Oh boy.
Hey, that's why they're called crazy questions. I'm not lobbing you softballs here.
I know. Probably the Sawyers, because I could go to it every step of the way.
Right. You could see it.
Right.
Play itself all the way out.
Right. Yeah, I could go to every game and be there and be a part of it.
Yeah, it's so hard to say. Like for me, I've seen Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
Right.
So,
listen, at the end of the day, it's still just it's professional sports. It is what it is.
I always root for my hometown team.
For that day and for that week, I may be excited that the Jets won the Super Bowl, guaranteed.
Right.
But that's something that would be personal to me. And
well, yeah, I mean, I watched them.
The Sawyers, I mean, that would be personal to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've watched the Cowboys win 3 of them, and it's like, cool, all right, but next year's a new year,
right?
Where when you do it like at that level, like that doesn't happen.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? It's like as good as Cornwall is, they've won like one.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's tough.
Listen,
it's a tough thing to do.
It just goes back to even earlier this year, the 30th anniversary. A group of us got together, and it was like that camaraderie was still there.
Right.
It doesn't go away because it's personal to you. So, yeah.
All right, number 3. What's the weirdest thing you enjoy eating?
Huh.
Circus peanuts do.
I was just gonna say circus peanuts because most people fucking hate them.
Yeah, they're orange but flavored banana, and they're a peanut.
They look like they look like they have the consistency of a crock.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
But I like them. Other than that, maybe tapioca pudding because people think it looks weird because of the tapioca balls. But
yeah, there's nothing like you don't eat like some kind of weird fish or something that people.
No, not
nothing
really.
like that. I'm not. I don't eat weird shit. So
squid, I guess.
Oh yeah, but calamari, yeah, that's kind of normal.
Again, most people don't think it's weird.
Yeah.
So I guess the circus peanuts just because most people have a vile reaction towards them.
All right, number 4. What is something you collect that people will find odd?
Collect.
You know how people always have trinkets. You go in somebody's house and it's all roosters, or cows or apples or some shit.
Right.
You go in if you go into a girl's house and she's got roosters in the kitchen, that means she loves cock.
She does love cock. I don't know that people consider it weird. I mean, my Elvis stuff, certain things. Baseball cards aren't weird. It's a worldwide hobby. Probably either Wildwood stuff.
Yeah.
And my Elvis stuff. That'd be probably my
I remember my sister used to collect these little cherub things. like they were just doing different things.
Right.
Them motherfuckers look like they went through Bastogne in World War II because my nephews destroyed them. A wing was missing. One had an arm. The other one's eye was colored with a penguin. They were just, they were fucking terrible.
The
Like,
two most weird collections I've seen, and maybe they're not a thing anymore. Maybe they are. I don't even know. People collecting thimbles.
yeah,
I've seen thimble collections and the little spoons,
yeah, no,
like baby spoons,
yeah,
from all different places.
yeah. I mean, I've seen people collect lighters, pens, just weird shit.
Really, pens?
Pens.
Interesting.
Yeah, like they're almost like it's almost like they're a little trinket from stealing somebody's pen.
Right.
And then you open a drawer and they got like 30, 40 pens in there. I'm like, what the fuck?
Are like $high pens or just pens?
No, just pens in general.
That's weird.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
All right, and number 5, what would be on your ultimate sandwich?
Oh man. All right.
Start with the bread, work your way in.
Bread's got to be a nice crusty, like Italian, like a true Italian, like a true semolina loaf. Probably paper thin fried chicken cutlet, roasted red peppers, fresh mozzarella. This is a sandwich I can get down at Rossi's actually. Probably some prosciutto, little bit of fuck tomato. I'm not down with that. Oh, some provolone, and then balsamic glaze.
Balsamic glaze. That's your ultimate sandwich?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's good stuff.
Nice. The easy questions, but they made you think a little bit.
Hell yeah, definitely.
Not bad. Not bad. We'll keep it moving.
All right.
I don't know which hand I'm going to have to use this hand. Over and Under, sponsored by Budget Blinds of East Greenbush via Winnie.
And we've done them buffet.
We have done them before.
Number 1, chili with rice.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Highly underrated.
I prefer
especially
rice.
this time of year.
Now, if you had a choice between rice or like chips, nacho chips.
Rice.
Yeah, me too.
Rice. Yep.
Okay.
White rice, too.
Yes. Number 2, a buttered roll with a nice bowl of soup.
Underrated. Highly underrated, but it's got to be the right kind of roll. Like, have you ever had those dinner rolls that's like fucking styrofoam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what I want.
No.
Now, Carly turned me on to these this week. The Kaiser rolls, not the Kaisers, what are they? You know how Quick Check has the 2 kinds of rolls?
Yeah, the ciabatta roll?
Yeah, the one that's like longer and puffier.
Yeah.
Toasted with butter from there.
Yeah.
Crazy good.
Stewart's hard rolls are good.
Can be.
Yeah.
Can also be shitty.
Yeah, but like a good, fresh Stewart's hard roll with butter dipped in chili.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 3, open-faced sandwiches.
Overrated. Like, you always get the hot open turkey or the hot roast beef.
It's not a sandwich
It's
anymore.
not. No, it's not.
If you can't pick it up, it's not a sandwich.
Right. It's literally shaved fucking turkey on bread.
Right.
That you're cutting anyway.
Doused in gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, do I like them? Yeah, but they're overrated for what the term is.
Correct. They're not, because they're really not what they are.
Right.
Number 4, fleece throw blankets.
Under fucking rated.
Yeah, especially this time of year.
Yeah, and I have one that I've had for a long time. They'll probably get buried with me. It's from Yankee Stadium in 2001. I've had it all these years. I still sleep with it every night.
Did you buy it there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went in a game in like May or June. Weird fucking day. Just we had seats in the shady part of the stadium, like under overhang. Froze our nuts off. The wind was just blows in there. I think I paid like fucking like $80 for this blanket way back then. But the thing about it is, you know how those fleece blankets are usually short. They're only like 5. They're like, I don't even know if they're 5 feet.
They're not.
This one's like 6 foot.
Oh, so it's like the perfect.
It's either like 6 foot or like 5.5 feet by 4. So like you could put it over your feet and it'll come up to your chin.
There you go.
It's not like, where it's only up to your nipples and you're freezing.
Knees are hanging out.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5, house slippers.
Overrated. I don't use them when it's cold. I do appreciate them. You know what I mean? But overall, I don't use them. So
Now, are you barefoot around the house or socks?
Socks.
I'm usually barefoot, but if I get out of bed, I throw on flip flops or either slides or Crocs.
Yeah. If you keep it cold, then I kind of want at least a winter slipper or something to
See,
keep
I
my feet.
can't. The one thing I can't do is sleep with socks on in bed.
No, no.
It's weird.
I try to sleep with just boxers, really.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, if it gets rather cold, I'll wear like long johns and a t-shirt.
Okay.
But the socks thing, I can't do the socks.
I can't either.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I can't have my feet sweating like that.
No, the other day I was taking a nap before I went to our job, and I slept with a hoodie on. And I never do
That's
that.
a good nap thing I can do.
Yeah.
I throw the hood up like where it's down over my eyes.
When I had COVID,
Yeah.
I had to. I was just like, I went from freezing to hot so often.
Yeah.
It had to be on at that point.
One thing that's different since I went and visited over the summer in England, I've been wearing. I stole an eye mask from her. It's hers. So like I don't know if it's like kind of that thing because it's hers and I don't have her here
Yeah.
where I can just go and see her and hug her.
Yeah.
I wear this eye mask and I think it says I don't know what it says, keep out or some shit like that. And it's like black with pink writing on it.
Yeah.
But I wear that eye mask every day now because like at her house at 3:30 in the morning, the sun's coming up in London right in my window.
What?
Yeah. It was like 3:38 a.m. the sun would come up.
Oh.
So I had to wear that mask, and since then I kind of gotten accustomed to it. So now,
Okay. And last but not least, dude wipes.
underrated.
Yes, you got me turned on to them.
Yeah, like what do you say? Your asshole smoked the menthol?
Yeah, like someone asshole smoked the Newport.
Yeah,
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 they're good.
yeah. They give you
Super.
like nice little fresh tingly feeling.
Yeah, and you know you're clean.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah.
right. I did have a.
I have. Well, I don't have a music for it, but we haven't done it in a while. But let's play a round of. Let me see if I got it. Let me see if I have a. No, that's dirtbag. All right, no, I don't have. I don't have a thing for it on the bottom. But anyway, let's play a round of cap, no cap.
Okay.
All right, number one, Deshaun Watson is paid accordingly.
Oh, total cap.
That's bullshit. He's way overpaid.
Way overpaid.
They paid him off of something he was before he was having every girl in Texas touch his wiener.
Yeah, and apparently he's been like a healthy scratch now for a month.
Yeah, it's
refusing
weird.
to play even though the doctors cleared him.
Yeah, so what do you think there's like some mental health thing there? Because clearly
There has to be.
this dude's like
Something's
off
going
the fucking a guy who had a once promising career is just fucking.
If I'm the
spiral.
Browns, I'm looking into a way to get my money back.
Yeah, it's kind of reminded me of
You're not
Jamarcus
playing.
Russell a little bit. Like you took your money and ran.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm not up with it. All right, number two, Jason is the better Kelsey.
I know you hate Travis. But yeah, I mean, what position is more irreplaceable, really? Listen,
The center is equal to being a quarterback of the line.
Right. And how many teams have 2 or 3 decent tight ends?
Well, and here's the thing. I think Travis is misrepresented as a tight end because he doesn't block.
You think he's a wideout?
I do you not?
Yeah, maybe a glorified slot receiver.
Right. Like, I don't think he's properly labeled as a tight end.
Almost Jimmy Graham-ish in a way.
Right. Like, he doesn't block.
No, he's there.
That's why years ago.
To be a receiver.
That's why years ago at one of our Super Bowl things, I said Gronkowski is the better tight end, and people were like, "No cap." Like there was an argument, but then they decided no cap because Gronk, you could run behind Gronk.
Right.
He shut out Chase Young in the playoffs. Didn't even whiff of Tom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think Jason, as where he is a Hall of Famer. Travis is a sure about Hall of Famer.
Oh, both of them are. But if you want to look at, you take one away, And what's more drastically changed? Listen, you take away a Hall of Fame lineman or Hall of Fame center specifically, and
You're not winning.
You're altering that offensive line dramatically.
Yep. All right, number 3. Jason Voorhees is the most evil horror villain.
Negative.
Cap. Who do you think is?
Uh
In a way, I think it's the guy from Saw.
oh, Jigsaw.
Jigsaw.
I mean,
He's the most like vindictive kind of like.
Jigsaw or Freddy, because Freddy is so cerebral and literally in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Voorhees and Michael Myers are just mindless killers. And Michael Myers more so is just going after trying to get to his sister.
One person.
Right.
Voorhees, if you don't go camping there, you're pretty good.
I mean, he's had a shit ton of collateral. Michael's had a shit ton of collateral damage trying to get after her.
Yeah.
But I think it's.
But Voorhees, if you're not from Camp Crystal Lake or somebody that
if you're not there, he's not coming for you.
And same thing with like Leatherface. If you're not right there in Texas,
family is twisted too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with Freddy. I think Freddy is so cerebral.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes down to who talks. Jason doesn't talk. Michael doesn't talk.
Jigsaw talks.
Jigsaw does talk.
And Jigsaw, you don't know. You could just pass him by and he could ask you for change out in a rainy day.
No, what makes him more scary is the fact of he is just a regular person.
Right.
They're not super. You can't call them superheroes. Not super villains.
Right.
So yeah, he's a good one too. But I'm gonna go with Freddy still.
All right, number 4. Oktoberfest beer should be sold year round.
Cap. Keep it where it is.
That's one of those things that if you get it too much, you're not going to appreciate it. You look forward to September coming around because you know Oktoberfest is there.
Right.
And the thing is, I better buy like some this week.
Right.
Because it's out. It'll be the cold snap or the winter lager.
Winter lager
in another week.
Yep.
So I kind of got to at least get a 6-pack of it.
And put it away.
Or no, I just haven't.
Or just have it. Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah.
I think I need it this week.
You're good. You can have it.
Yeah. All right. And number 5, Starbucks is better than Dunkin'.
It's funny because today I have Starbucks because I didn't have a line. But I'm still going to say Cap.
I would say Cap too. I don't drink that stuff, but like
my wife prefers it, but for the price and I don't know now it's Cap.
So you're a coffee drinker. I think it kind of boils down to: do you just like coffee, or do you want like fritzy coffee? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Do you want something that's like high dollar fucking? That's like. There's parts of me that thinks like you leave the realm of coffee to something different. It's no longer coffee. You've added so much shit to it.
If I had to rank them, I would say I personally, on a day-to-day basis, drink Stewart's iced coffee more than anything.
Yeah.
More so out of convenience. It's on the way to work, but I put honeydew ahead of all of them. I love honeydew coffee.
All right. Well, that was Cap, no Cap. We haven't played that in a long time.
Yes, that's true.
And you said you had a rabbit hole.
I do. It's a quick rabbit hole. 2 things that I've been watching a lot of lately: cows' hooves.
Me too.
Cleanings.
Me too.
When they're digging them out.
Yeah,
and they find like,
he had a stone in this, or
and he pulls it out.
An abscess.
Some of them, the abscesses are nasty. You pull a nail out, it just starts squirting. You're like, ah. But dude, how far they can cut them down?
I saw a dude just take like this big razor blade thing, go and I mean like cutting off chunks.
Right, and then the other side, because they're halved, he'll put this thick pad glued onto the other side so he doesn't.
So it has an even step.
And the injured side is covered.
Yep.
I found that fascinating.
Yeah,
lately.
That was like when I found the fucking horse chiropractor. Remember?
Well, this is funny because Dr. Doug Willen does do animals as well. But he's a chiropractor out of New York City, so he's actually one we can go see.
Yep.
And he's watching a lot of his videos. He does a lot of everything, like frozen shoulders. Guys have gone in with frozen shoulders, and he uses these different guns to adjust the collarbones, and then he gets in. He's funny as fuck because he starts grinding with his thumb. He's like, yeah, this is pretty miserable. He's saying it matter of factly, and the guy in the chair is like wincing.
Yeah.
And he does the Y strap. But more than anything, which is totally wild, it's called cranial facial release.
Here?
So he puts a balloon.
Oh, yeah.
Which it's attached to a little hand pump. And he stuffs the balloon up the nostril. And you got to hold your breath. He plugs their nostril. And it's and I guess as it expands, he explains there's 22 bones in this area of the face. And if you've got a deviated septum, any of that, it pops everything back into place. So they ask him, he'll do it, and it's quick. And he pulls it right out.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What do you feel?" And they're like, most people are like, "Yeah, all you hear is all this cracking in your skull."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I haven't been able to breathe out of that nostril in 14 years," and now he's taking deep breaths.
Yeah.
So his videos are all over. But I've seen him doing dogs, horses. Like he'll get up onto the horse and he's got his arms around it, and the horse's head is on his shoulder. He's like,
and then clunk,
and the horse looks,
yeah,
it's all surprised and shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the shit that I find like. So I think we're in a world now where sometimes social media sucks.
Yeah.
But that's why I appreciate TikTok. But TikTok's kind of become this live thing now where everybody's going live. But what I was getting at is you didn't see a fucking horse chiropractor before.
Right.
You never watched.
You
knew horses wore shoes.
Right.
And I've seen those videos, but you never watched. I never thought that a cow would need its fucking feet taken care of.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you start to see these things that you never knew existed. And you're cleaning rugs. Who the fuck knew that cleaning a rug
awesome.
You could watch for hours?
Oh.
Shining shoes, interiors of cars,
right.
Mowing lawns.
Pressure washing.
I watched a ton of edging this week.
Yeah.
Like we're not that kind of edging, where they edge out a lawn and they get all the weeds down and
right. Or it's probably the same guy I watched too. The front lawn will look totally shot, and there ends up being a sidewalk underneath all this grass where he cleans it out and shovels it and washes it, and all of a sudden it looks brand new. Yeah.
Have you ever seen where they've taken sand and leveled a yard?
No.
Oh my God, it's so awesome. It's like people have like lumps in their yard or whatever. So they take filtered sand and they pour it over the entire yard and they spread it out with like brooms and rolls and rollers and everything.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, it looks like a fucking golf course fairway.
Really?
For a yard. Yeah. Look, you got to look at it.
The grass actually will come up.
Well, what it is this. Yeah, the sand like I'm sure they probably use sand to level it, and then I think they have like a top coat that's like a fertilizer type too, or mixed in with the sand, and then you see it, and then 4 or 5 weeks later, the fucking lawn looks perfectly level, beautiful.
Nice.
It's wild. I watched a lot of that a while ago, because Kat's house used to have a lumpy front yard. I'm like, oh, let's get the sand and we'll do it ourselves. And she's like, nah, we ain't doing that. You got a lumpy ass front yard then.
That's it. It'll stay that way.
But yeah, that's the thing about you have. Is that the only ones you had?
Yeah, those have been the main two.
Those rabbit holes you go down, all of a sudden just that.
Yeah, Doug Will and I've been watching for like 2 weeks straight because there's hundreds of videos.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I mean, chime in on this post when it goes up on live video. What do you enjoy watching on YouTube and that we need to check out?
Now, one thing I've gotten better, and I'll credit my wife on this. TikTok will have like trap videos to where they never get to the end.
Oh, I hate them fucking things. And there's a particular guy and girl, I can't stand them.
And now I can pick it up within like the first 30 seconds if this is going to be one.
If I hear his voice, I go, fuck that guy.
Next.
Yep.
Next.
Yeah.
Because you're never getting to the end.
Right.
It's normally like cooking things or cleaning things, and you never, ever get
he always is like, oh, we're going to... Last week he had like a sword, and he was going to paint a mural of William Wallace. I'm like, fuck that guy. And I skipped. And then, I think like a couple later it came up, like part 72.
Yeah, and they still haven't gotten to it.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, you could have done this in 28 seconds.
Right.
But apparently you're a paid fucking guy that
Yeah.
All your clicks.
I think I've watched. Oh, there was one more I got onto yesterday. Um, Shoot, I wish I could remember. Guitaro. It's a Guitaro something thousand, or maybe it's just Guitaro. So it's a guy who stands on the street corner. He's a busker, so he's playing his guitar, and he says, "Hey, come sing a song with me." And he's got like 400 songs in the catalog.
Oh, I've seen this guy.
Pick any one you want, and the girl or the guy will sing the songs he plays.
Yes.
There's a lot of, and that's the cool thing is there's so much undiscovered talent out there.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the guy that plays? He's got a guitar and he gives away free broccoli, and he's got a drum set, and he always is like, "Hey, play drums for me," and he's got a song like "This Is Hollywood" or something.
Really?
And he plays, and people like come up and just take the free broccoli. And then somebody would be like, "Yeah, I'll drum," and then he'd drum with him, and he just plays his song. But that's how he promotes his one song.
Right. I used to watch like Button the Busker. He's all over all social medias. He's got the thing where the kid, he's stomping on the foot pedal to play the drum.
Yeah.
He's playing harmonica a lot of the time. He's also playing guitar, banjo. He's really good.
Have you ever seen a famous one live? Like that you're in the... Have you ever seen one that was like phenomenal in like the city?
Not in person, no.
I saw a great one in Ireland.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Ireland. It was the girl. There's a red-haired girl that's very famous in Ireland, and we saw her.
Oh, cool.
It was really wild to see. You know what I mean? You're going by, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know that voice from TikTok or whatever. And she was in the middle of the street in a fucking crowd immediately. Like she came out, was starting to play immediately. There was tons of people around her.
The only one I can remember, and I didn't get to see him live, but he was a internet sensation. He was an older black dude that he was singing in the subways.
Yes.
He ended up on either The Voice or American Idol.
Yep.
And got a shot. I mean, he sings phenomenally, but I don't think he advanced very far. But it was cool to see him get like 5 minutes of fame on TV.
One of the best buskers I've ever seen is the dude with the real long saxophone. He's got like I would say like military high boots on. He's really goofy with like a mohawk high, and it's like it's the weirdest thing. But like anytime the video comes up, and it's years ago,
right?
I still watch it.
I didn't see the naked guy that was in Times Square.
The naked cowboy.
Naked cowboy. I saw him live.
The guy with the underwear and the cowboy hat. Yeah. You see those guys. Like, so I wonder if there's people in like every city that have like somebody that's quote unquote quasi famous. Yeah.
Like this guy was big. The guy that was playing a song. He was based in Louisville.
Yeah. Well, like Socrates, we got the town bum that walks around with 700 pairs of socks and a jacket on, pushing a cart. You know who I'm talking about? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Kingston with the sweater guy for the longest time too.
Yeah.
He had an untimely demise though.
Oh.
He got hit by a train and drugged from...
Or he stepped in front of it.
Or stepped in front of it. Got drugged from... And this is the fucked up part. They knew it was him because they found sweaters from like Foxhole. They found sweaters from Foxhole to Port Ewing.
Oh my God. That is terrible.
Drugged for miles.
That is fucking terrible.
Yeah. Yep. David Ortiz was his name. Not Big Papi either.
This is one of those things where you can't help laughing at a shitty situation. Holy fuck.
Literally, sweaters.
They found sweaters for miles.
They did. Think about that, too. It went from Foxhole Avenue to Port Ewing.
There's like nothing left of the guy. You're like, who the fuck is this? Oh, must be David Ortiz. There's 700 sweaters. Holy shit. We're fucking terrible, dude.
Oh, we are.
We're bad humans.
We should stop this.
We're bad humans. Oh my God.
Oh God. God bless David Ortiz. That's so bad. Oh, man. Oh, I got nothing.
I got nothing.
All right.
Take us home.
Gmac, this is Winnie. It's been the Outlaw Podcast. We're going to hell.